Hi, welcome to this edition of Garden Guns. This is what I hope is going to be a Garden Guns short. Yeah, my videos do tend to go on for a little bit and I do tend to ramble. So, to that point, I'm going to get straight into it. First off, actually, I'm going to apologise if there's any rain noise. I'm trying to get these videos done so I can return these guns to Phil and Tracey. Understandably, they want their guns back. So I'm doing it under a gazebo and we have got rain showers going through, so yeah, this is the problem with the videos I've been trying to shoot. There's always been weather or cats in the way, so it's been quite hard to get them done. But let's try and punch on through this time. So, the Webley Venom Viper. What do I know about this rifle? Not an awful lot. From what I've been able to find out, I believe it's based on the Raider 2-shot. And it's had some input from the what would have been back then the in-house Venom tuning team, hence the name. Webley bought Venom tuning or Venom customs. They bought them in-house, I believe, when Webley was still a wholly owned British company, and I believe this is one of the last offerings from Webley before Webley basically went bankrupt. I believe they went bankrupt, and then the brand was bought by a Turkish arms manufacturer. And if you look at it, I think it would have been somebody along the lines of Kral, possibly, because there are sort of similarities, I think, now, definitely in the magazine architecture between Kral and some of the new Webley products. But anyway, less of that. This rifle is an interesting little number. I think the barrel is slightly shrouded. I believe it might have baffling in it because it's really quiet for a yeah, it's really quiet. It's got a reasonable air cylinder on it. I think from the research I've done, it holds 60 to 70 shots worth of air, and it's got quite an interesting two-shot shuttle mechanism on it. You know, two-shot shuttle mechanisms aren't really something you see an awful lot of these days. You know, we've sort of moved over towards reliable magazine or single-shot loading. Why two-shot shuttle tray? Well, I presume that this rifle was more designed towards the hunter, for use by hunters, for guys out in the field, and it gave them, gave you that option to have a quick backup shot if maybe you didn't get a clean first shot on your quarry and you needed that backup shot to basically you know, finish it off and make sure that it didn't suffer, and that is exactly what it gave you. I'm actually, you know, I did some zeroing. I obviously had to zero the rifle in first, and it took a while to get used to this shuttle. You know, I wasn't sure whether I liked it, but I can see the use and it seems to work quite well. I think I have to be a little bit careful. There might be a bit of wear in it. I have to be careful when I'm trying to load pellets or, you know, chamber the pellet. I've noticed, you'll see on the video that there's a first target that's been shot, and there's a couple of flyers on the right hand side, and that was from where when I pushed the pellet probe home, the bolt home, there was some resistance. I can only assume that the magazine hadn't quite locked into place properly, or, you know, maybe the pellet hadn't seated inside the magazine properly, and I think there's some damage as I sort of forced the bolt home. I think I damaged the pellet slightly, and there are two flyers. The main group is really good, but there were two flyers, and both of those occurred when I had some resistance in trying to cock the mechanism. So how does the mechanism work? Well, you have a little single shot tray here, and you have a bolt on the side. So to get the mechanism to work properly, you would pull the bolt home, drop it down, load your pellets in the first chamber here, push it across, flick the bolt up, which then locks the shuttle tray, and then you'd load your second pellet into here, and then when you're ready, you push the probe home, drop the bolt down, fire, and then you've got a second backup shot available then. There we go. As I say, you know, all in all, it's not a bad little system. What I'm going to do now is run 10 shots down to get the 10 shot group done for this shop, and I'm going to film that, and then I'm going to come back and have a quick sort of surmisation of what I think overall about the rifle. So let's go and do the downrange bit. Right, so here we go. 10 shots. Let's hope I don't crush any pellets this time. That's the first shot loaded. That's in. Push that. Lock that up. And there's the second shot. Okay. So I'm going to give it the right hand target. Typical. It's a little bit of wind that's just come up. How annoying. Right. So it would appear the way to get around having any issues with the cocking is to actually push that first shot when you're loading that, or chambering that first pellet. It's just put a little bit of push on the tray with your thumb. I can only assume that there's a little bit of wear in the mechanism, and that seems to locate the tray perfectly. Hopefully, let's see how we do. Oh, somebody's got a big beefy car. I apologise for any road noise at the moment. This is why I shoot the videos further down, and the wind. Don't really like shooting in the gazebo, to be honest. It tends to make the sound a little bit rough on the videos. Right, remember, push that forward, down it goes. Oh, once again, hay fever nose. Crikey, I think, is this 6? Lost count already. I call this 8 and 9, 6, 6, 7. Thank you. think I need to put 2 more shots in because I've lost count. Oh, pants. Might have just clipped that. Forgot to. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, so I think that's 10 shots. It could be 12. I'm going to have to look back on the video and count it, and I'll write that on the card. But let's go and grab the target and see how we've done, and then I'm going to do a quick chronograph and yeah, sum up. Right, so here we go. 5 shots over the chronograph. Let's see how we do. Play on that. Is that in focus? I think that's good enough. Right. You'll see on this footage that I've already shot this over the chronograph. We averaged around about 10.5 foot-pounds. What I didn't realise is the memory card was full. So, it didn't record any of my shots. Right, anyway, so here we go. Let's do it all over again. 10.28. So, doesn't need regassing. 10.5, far more. Okay. .61. 10.61, 0.5 of a foot per second difference there. .49. Okay. Turn that off. Right. So what do I think? Well, I have been really pleasantly surprised with this rifle. It's coming as a package with this classic Simmons whitetail scope on it. You know, I think this is a good 10.5 foot-pound air rifle. Good 30 yards, plinker or pester. Probably even push it out to 40 if you were really good. You know, I think for an entry-level PCP air rifle, you know, something you don't really need. It doesn't make an awful lot of noise. As I say, I think it's shrouded. I think it definitely seems to be shrouded. It's surprisingly quiet. I think for an entry-level PCP, it's going to be really good value. I'm not sure how much it's going to go out at the shop. Worth giving Tracey and Phil a call about that, but I can't see it being exorbitantly expensive, especially as a package with the scope on the top. Yeah, would I buy it? I think if I was in the market for, you know, something, yeah, in the market for a PCP, and I wanted something that, you know, I could chuck in the back of the the van or the 4x4 or whatever it was that I was using to get to where I'm shooting, or something just for doing a bit of plinking in the back garden, I don't really think you can do much better. It's got a nice trigger on it. There's a little bit of wear, as I said, in the single shots. In the shuttle mechanism, but that's easily got around. If you feel any resistance, don't force the bolt home. Just give it a little push with your finger. And you'll find that pellet will go home easily. And doing that, you won't actually have caused, or you shouldn't have caused, any damage seating that pellet in the chamber. If you force it without pushing the shuttle over, the tray over, yeah, then you might end up crimping that pellet and ending up with a small fire, as demonstrated by this. and this is the card that I shot earlier. I'm not sure if I pointed this out, but this is my first try with the rifle at 30 yards. As you can see, I had these 2 flyers there, and both of those 2 flyers were when I had some resistance in chambering the pellet, and this here, see the 10 or 12 shots. I'm going to have to go back and look at the video, but you can see there, when I worked out what was going on, if I felt any resistance, I just put some pressure on that tray, just pushed it to the right a little bit, and then the bolt seated that pellet perfectly with no resistance at all, and as such, no flyers. So I hope this has been of interest. I've been really pleasantly surprised with this air rifle. I'm really glad I've had the opportunity to shoot it. You know, anybody that picks this up is getting a little piece of British air gunning memorabilia. So take care. I've got to do one more video on a Daystate Renegade, and then that'll be it for a while, I think. Yeah, at least a good month or so before I get the chance to upload any more. So, as I said, take care, stay safe, and please keep an eye out for the next video.